We have also noticed an increase in the number of pedestrians dying on our roads, and that most of these causes has also been the recklessness of these pedestrians using our roads. We thus give these tips to the pedestrian using roads, that all pedestrians using roads must walk on the right hand side of the roads as they see the oncoming motor vehicles. They must also use roads when they are not under the influence of any drug, alcohol, and other intoxications. Then they must also concentrate whenever they are using these roads. The issue of someone using the road and is WhatsApping, is making phone calls, is listening to the radio, it puts in danger the person using these roads, for you can never understand or know other road users on the road, which puts your life at risk. Then whenever pedestrians are also going to cross roads, you must first stop and check both sides. If there are no vehicles coming or crossing, walk and cross the road. You don't need to run while crossing these roads. So we must be careful whenever we are using these roads, putting in mind that there are other many road users on these roads. So we have to be vigilant and very sober at all times whenever we are using these roads. To other road users, especially the motorists, you must observe speed limits. This has also continued to claim lives of motorists on various roads, and then you must also observe rules of the road. You must also have discipline on these roads, and then you must also exercise patience on these roads, especially when pedestrians are crossing on zebra crossings. You must not hurry or rush to use those roads or to move when pedestrians are also crossing. We also sound a warning to all bodabodas, motorcyclists, that they must acquire driving licenses to be on these roads. They must use helmets and reflectors while using these roads. And when we talk of helmets and reflectors, they don't only apply to the riders, but even passengers on these motorcycles. They must put on helmets whenever they are using these motorcycles, because they are also exposed to these crashes. Crashes among bodabodas are not only a danger to the riders, but also to the passengers traveling or moving on these motorcycles. So all passengers on motorcycles must at all times put on crash helmets whenever they are moving or traveling on bodabodas. There has been a directive that all drivers who are driving recklessly on roads, speeding, improper overtaking, must be arrested by the police and taken to courts of law. This time around, we shall not look at the express penalty scheme, but rather impounding them and taking them to courts of law. We thus call upon members of the public to utilize our toll-free number and call the police in case you cite these behaviors on roads: improper overtaking, speeding, or any form of reckless driving.